All right, we're going to continue with the baseball rules and regulations, things that are averages, things to understand if you're getting into baseball, what some of the newer regulations are. Today's video is going to be about the baseball bats themselves. So whether you have a player in the pee-wee levels or the t-ball levels, they're going to have stamped right on their baseball bats if they are legal to be used in t-ball. So whether they're wood or a composite or an alloy, if it's marked t-ball, you can use it in organizations that recognize them as t-ball. Once you start getting into the 7U, 8U play, make sure you are checking the rules and with individuals within the league what is accepted or not. At 8U, according, again, these are numbers calculated from AI generated sources. They're not going to be a standard for all different organizations. These are the numbers that are recognized under the Little League organization. So some of your travel ball or recreational ball may vary within the rules and regulations. But when it comes to bat manufacturing, these are the basis numbers of understanding that they use. Wooden bats, if you say a wooden bat is a 100% bat, it is the bat performance factor or the exit velocity that when you are swinging the bat itself does not multiply the exit speed of the ball beyond the player's swing rate. So if a ball is coming at the player at 10 miles an hour, they hit it with a bat that is moving at 10 miles an hour, there's not going to be any modification to the swing whatsoever. So if you see on certain bats, especially with USSSA bats, they will be marked because they're allowed to actually be modified to increase the exit velocity. It's going to be marked at 1.15. So anything from 100% to 115% is your USSSA designation within bats. For wooden bats, both at the Little League level and even Major League levels, it's 2 5/8 drum diameter. For USSSA, they can go as large as 2 3/4 inch. Now, there are going to be some of the T-ball bats out there, whether it be aluminum or the wood, that will have an increased barrel size. Take advantage of that because that will be easier for most younger players to be able to swing through and make contact with the ball. Remember the weight, which we'll be getting into another video. A BB core, which BB core, the BB core stands for battle ball coefficient. Once you get back to the BB core level of play in that high school level years, especially at 18, an aluminum alloy or composite bat is allowed to be used in most Little League scenarios, but the bat is made out of the composite or metal for the additional safety. Obviously, wood can splinter and split if they're hit in the handle or if there's an excessive force or weak spot within the wooden bat. But the bat performance factor has to be very similar to a wooden bat. Okay, so this hopefully helps you all to understand as your player moves up within the age, the different kinds of bats that they're able to use, and it's going to be specific to the organization that you're playing in. I'm going to rate this up there, and hopefully, again, the purpose of these videos is to basically be set yourself in reality. Let your player know and be realistic with the expectations within their performance. Kind of ground yourself, realizing that if you're practicing with a heavier wooden bat and you switch to a lighter bat for the playing the games, you're going to see additional performance. It's not necessarily because of the construction of the baseball bat, because once again, between a wooden bat and the USA stamp variation, they're supposed to be very similar in performance. But typically, a wooden bat, especially for the lower levels, is going to be the $40 to $80 range. It's common practice within most players and families that they will go out and buy the aluminum variation or even a composite, and those can go anywhere from $80 to $500 brand new. But please realize that between a wooden bat and a USA stamp bat, the price range does not guarantee the difference in performance because the bats have to be constructed in a way that they perform almost identical. Okay, there cannot be an additional batting performance factor in the USA stamp level baseball bats. You can't replace a $2 swing with a $500 bat and expect miracles. Okay, that's the part that maybe some of you don't understand. It's about the enjoyment and the available bats that you have. If your player likes to have a painted bat that might be out there, whether they're seeing something online or YouTube that's being reviewed as being an excellent performing bat, realize if they are a USA bat, it would be very similar to wooden bat. The advantage of using a composite or aluminum alloy variation of baseball bats is that it reduces the weight of the bat. So if they have a longer reach, longer arms, a taller stature, they can get away with using a longer bat, but that'll keep the weight down to where it's very similar if they were swinging a wooden bat. Where a 33 or a 34 inch wooden bat is going to be over 24 to 25 ounces, where you can be swinging a 30 inch to 35 inch alloy or composite bat that might only weigh 20 ounces. Okay, there's different advantages to it, and it's all dependent on the ability of the player. Now I'm going to throw this in there to just close out the video. It also is dependent on how the ball is being delivered to the player. There's going to be different rules for both fast pitch and slow pitch softball. And there's also going to be different practices within baseball, whether it's a machine pitch, coach pitch, or player pitch. And depending on the level of performance out of those sources, it can vary. Machine pitches can be anywhere from 15 miles an hour to 70 miles an hour. Coach pitch, again, it's all dependent on the coach and what he has practiced, what the players have become accustomed to within practices for the games. And then if you start getting into player pitch, again, you could have entry-level players that are only throwing 25 miles an hour, or an outstanding pitcher might be throwing 60 to 70 miles an hour. So once again, take that into consideration when purchasing your equipment, that it matches your needs to enjoy the game. You don't want to be swinging the heaviest thing, but sometimes the lightest bats are not necessarily going to provide the best performance. So with that, that's video number 2 for the baseball reality and average numbers. Just to understand some of the definitions. You could find all of this information obviously through AI. You can just use your search engines, but you'd have to break it down into each age group. This is a generalization, taking all the information from your T-ball level player all the way up to your collegiate ball player. With that, have a good one.